Welcome to the up and down matches. This is our first of 5 days of grueling up and down matches. Anyone who gets out of this group will become a Code S player. 2 players, in fact, will advance from each group. We've got 6-player groups, which means we can have a maximum of 15 games to cast, so get excited about that. There's going to be a lot of games going on.
This is actually going to be a very, very exciting week at that. We'll just mention already that we have 5 up and down days, and we have the GSL at the weekend as well, so 7 days of StarCraft.
7 days a week, man. And that's just only the GSL. There's so much other StarCraft going on. The scene is growing. It's prospering. I'm really excited, man. Well, we've got a really varied group today. We've got 2 players of each race. We've got 2 Zergs, 2 Processes, 2 Terrans. It's going to be a very awesome group indeed. A lot of variety of players. We've got players of all styles here. We've got macro-oriented players. We've got TSL Hart, for example, who's known for some more cheesy style play. So just all sorts of players in general. So we're going to take a look at some of our results here. You can see, you know, basically where these players, who's in Code S now. You can see Dongrigu, GumiHo, Puzzle, Parting, MC, MMA, Alive, and Genius. Those are a round of 8 players, and actually, okay, so Seed, Ryung, Teja, and Hero, 4 players from A to S there, and okay, I'm not actually 100% sure what these stats mean. But anyway, you can see our seeds here. Huck got a seed, and you can see Ganji and Supernova there in our round of 16 Code S. There's 2. Basically, I think this is like who made it. Oh, okay, who's in up and down matches from the round of 16 of Code S. Which ones got here from round of 32 after going to Code A, and then ones who just got enough Code A, Code A performance.
Participant in general, exactly.
Okay, I was like not 100% sure, but now I get it.
Yeah, sorry, that's the first time we've seen this graphic either, and we just had to figure it out. So
that's basically how they got to the up and down matches.
That's all of the players that are participating in this week that we've just seen, and these are today's players. We have Stardale, Squirtle, who is the first Protoss of the day. At the bottom right, you can see Senex Avenge, the second Protoss, YugiOh, and Boom Boom Prime, 2 Zerg
You can notice, not to cut you off there, I just want to notice that you can look at the little logo next to their name. It shows how they got here from A to up and downs, or from S and then into A and then into up and downs. So you know, there's basically different ways you can get in there. That's kind of what the last graphic was showing exactly, but that's a smaller way. Anyway, yeah, you can see our players here, as you were saying, Keldor. We've got 2 players from each race. Squirtle and Avenge are Protosses, YugiOh and Boom Boom are Zergs, and Keen and Hart are Terrans, and some players a lot more results than others.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool day. And the first match is actually one of the games that I am very excited about, because we are having Squirtle against YugiOh, which is going to be a very nice game. I personally love to watch YugiOh because he's one of these Zerg players. He might not be Code S material, we'll find out today, but he's just one of these players that has a very unique style and is not afraid to pull off some kind of weird strategies, a little bit of funky strategies. For example, stealing an Nexus of a Protoss player. That's something that he does quite often.
Yeah, he loves to block with hatcheries. It's awesome.
Yeah, and he is facing Squirtle on Entombed Valley, usually more of a Protoss map, and I'm kind of excited to see what he has in mind in order to defeat Squirtle here.
Yeah, Squirtle's recent PvZ results have been pretty awesome. I mean, everyone remembers the game he played against, I believe it was Cezanne in the earlier stages of Code A, where he was so behind.
The Belcher game?
Yeah, the Belcher game, and then he was like just making Immortals and Void Rays, and he's barely pushed his way out. I mean, he has shown some incredible play. We'll see if he is going to be able to get into Code S. Many people favoring him as the player to get out of this group. We'll see if he can take out YugiOh. The map is Entombed Valley. A lot of players saying this is a really Protoss-oriented map, so it's going to be tough for YugiOh here. We'll see what build he chooses. In just a few seconds, this is the GSL up and down matches with Wolf and Keldor.
Listen to me, step up if you want to feel this music. Don't stop it, keep rocking. Adrenaline phenomenon, let's use it.
And it is on. The up and down matches have started. At the bottom left of Entombed Valley in the red color, we have our Protoss player, one of the 2 making an appearance today. This is
Startail Squirtle.
Startail Squirtle in the first game of the day on Entombed Valley. This is best of 1, ladies and gentlemen. So every map counts. To the top left, we have in the blue, starting for the Slayers team, our Zerg
Slayers Yu-Gi-Oh!
Now, we mentioned a lot about these players already before the game started, but there's one additional piece of information that Keldor and I were able to get before this. Talking to Sella,
Yeah.
he said that Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently was not practicing very much, so he was absolutely certain, this is something unusual for a coach to say, is absolutely certain that Yu-Gi-Oh! Would not make it out today.
Yeah, he said that he would have a very, very hard time of proceeding today, and apparently, well, there has a lot of stuff been going on lately with the Slayers team, and the mood of the players is probably not the best right now. There were all these little, well, I don't want to really call it Twitter scandals. It wasn't really a scandal, but
Yeah,
just
there
a
were
couple
some
of
problems for sure.
Yeah, just a couple of things that were happening with the Slayers team. And they are actually having a tournament in order to look for new players, which I find is really, really awesome.
Yeah, that
It's
should
gonna
be awesome. I love that draft
very exciting.
style.
There's a thread on teamliquid.net that you can check out if you're interested to read up on it. So that's something that I really welcome, and I think that the Slayers team is making a pretty good move with it.
That's how the Slayers team was able to get so successful, by having tryouts. And oh, look at this, just like you were talking
Nice.
about, Keldor, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to block with a hatchery.
Hold it.
And there goes the gateway, man. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is known for this.
I love it. I really, really love it. This is exactly what I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Style. And the thing is, a lot of players, a lot of Protoss players, as soon as they realize there's going to be a hatch, they don't know how to react properly. And even if they do and they are able to cancel the hatch or make it work, their timings will just be completely gone to hell. Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! On the other hand, he is playing this so often that he knows perfectly well how this will affect his
That's
timings.
very true. Now, what will Yu-Gi-Oh! Do as a reply to this pylon? His
And-
spawning pool is done. Will he actually, he's just going to kill us and make his hatchery at a normal location.
Wolf, one cannon is not enough.
Oh, look at this. He's going to try to make a gateway to continue this block.
I don't really like it with 4 circlings out. I don't think 6 circlings, it's not gonna work. It's just a waste of money for him right now. He has to cancel it. But as I said, 1 cannon is not enough to kill this, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Will be able to complete the hatch.
Yeah, the hatchery will absolutely finish. He won't be able to get a queen out, but he will be able to complete the hatchery. Absolutely. This is very unfortunate and frustrating for Squirtle at this point. It looks like he's not really overreacting. He's chrono boosting out a Zealot now as well. The Zerlian pressure is coming in. Now, if the cannon is targeting the hatchery, the Zerlians may be able to sneak in, but I don't think this will occur. We'll see.
Well, the thing is, the queen will probably be done in time.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Actually, now that I'm looking at this a little bit more closely, you're exactly right, Keldor. It looks like he will. Depends on the Zealot, though.
The Zealot, whoa, this is going to be very, very close. He's going for a Spine Crawler, and this will probably draw the Zealot for a while.
Yeah, the queen will not finish.
Yeah.
He cancels it.
The Zealot is able to completely cut it off, so very well done. But the Spine Crawler is going... Nah, probably not.
He's going to have to cancel that as well. Interestingly enough, making 4 Zerlings at these eggs. I'm not...
He canceled them.
Yeah, he cancels it. Not entirely sure the idea behind that.
But still, that was actually very interesting, and he forced his opponent to use a ton of chrono boosts on the gateway to get those Zealots out. The Zealots were the only reason why the Spine Crawler and the Queen were not able to be completed, so very nice reaction here by Squirtle. But as you can see, he's on double gate right now, he doesn't have the expansion, he will wait until the creep is gone, and this just screwed up everything for Squirtle.
Yeah, and in fact, the hatchery is already done now for Yu-Gi-Oh! The Harvester count 24 to 23 in Squirtle's favor. He has not started the Nexus, though. Now, what will be his follow-up here? He may not even make a Nexus. I think he should, and he will, but he has to wait for that creeper to be finally receded now. The Zealot pressure here is going to be pretty tough to deal with. He does not have that many Zerlings. He's got 6 in production, 10 in total. And he does retreat now.
Yeah, he has enough to deal with it, and here comes the play for Squirtle. He's not only going for the Nexus, but he builds a Stargate right away.
Yeah. Now 5 Zealots are out. He's actually, he's playing things a little bit risky here, not making any additional Zerlings, making drones, in fact. This is going to be pretty tough to deal with. He's going to have to micro really well. The Queen's tanking some hits here. The Zealots want to micro back. Oh no, they get surrounded.
Nice.
He can't really stutter step anymore, but even so, he's going to clean up the majority of these Zerlings, but will it be an effective trade? I don't think so, Keldor.
The Queens are definitely key here. All the Zealots are suddenly gone, and now we have Yu-Gi-Oh! With 44 supply. As a side note, the matchup against Protoss is Yu-Gi-Oh!'s best matchup with a win ratio of 67%. And, well, Squirtle is very good against Zerg. It's actually his best matchup as well.
And recently he's just been showing incredible results against Zerg.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He has been in quite a good shape against Zergs, and now we have the Void Ray being built. I think it actually has been spotted. Yeah, he saw the Stargate, so he knows exactly what's coming. Speed is going to be finished. He's going for a second Queen right now. We don't have an Evolution Chamber for him just yet, but I feel that YugiOh will be in a position where he can definitely defend against this. So a very interesting game that we've been seeing here so far. I love it. There's the Evolution Chamber, will give him the ability to start Spore Crawler production, but for the first couple of attacks, those Queens should actually be in a position where they can throw back the Protoss player with ease.
Yeah, absolutely. The layer is almost done, Caldor, and I think we're going to see... It's hard to say 100% what we will see, but I think we're going to see... Well, hold that thought. We've got a Void Ray charging up here. There's only one Queen nearby. He has to start a Spore. No Phoenix is the support, though. Another Queen pops out, and the Void Ray does get turned around. He's going to try to use his Void Ray to deny creep spread by the looks of things, and also to perhaps scout for this third base location. Nice micro on the Void Ray. Maybe a little bit too much, though, taking a few hits there.
The creep spread helps YugiOh a lot here, because he can just maneuver his Queens a lot better and try to take down the Void Ray. He's not able to do so, but in the end, this Stargate pressure won't accumulate to anything.
Did he spot the Infestation Pit? He did. He knows about the Infestation Pit now, which is the tech that we all expected to see.
And he's actually sticking with his Phoenix production. He's building additional Phoenix right now, something that YugiOh just scouted. But just have a look at how well he already prepares against those Stargate units. He's at 51 harvesters against 42. He's on 2 base. He's getting it probably a third very soon. And
he's got 4 Queens out as well. He's getting Overlord speed. That's really interesting. Of course, it's going to help him kind of move around his Overlords, make sure he can keep them alive against Phoenixes if he needs to. He could potentially do drops later as well, but I don't think that's going to be the case. He has to cancel the lift on that Queen. There's too many there. Notice also at the third base of Squirtle, he's being blocked by an Overlord. It's actually been there for quite some time now, so Squirtle's kind of stuck in this position a little bit right now. He's continuing to try to scout and pick off drones. Now we see a Baneling Nest here. Now with the Overlord speed, of course, I think with the Baneling Nest, it's pretty clear that we're going to see some Baneling drops at some point with the Infestors. That's really, really strong.
The problem that you usually have as Zerg against Protoss is that there is a very, very small chance that you can actually limit the Protoss on 2 bases. It's quite easy to take the third base, so as a Zerg you always struggle as soon as your opponent takes the third. They're suddenly in the position to push out a little bit and take the fourth as well. So YugiOh, with this unusual opening, was in a position where he completely screwed with Squirtle's timings, and therefore Squirtle now trying to get Colossi into the picture. He started with a Stargate opening that did not really do all that much, and YugiOh in a very nice position. He gets a third base right now, and with the Overlord that you mentioned, Wolf, he is now in a position where he can just block the third for a little bit longer, especially because Squirtle hasn't seen it. If he would have spotted the Overlord, he would have just killed the Overlord with a Phoenix.
Absolutely.
But so far he has no idea.
It just looks like he is not... the main focus of his attention right now is not that third base. He really wants to put pressure on his opponent. He's continuing to do so. His +1 is finishing up. It's very late, but obviously, as we discussed earlier, the hatchery timing is just good. You know, the proxy hatchery just messes everything up. So his first Colossus is about to pop out as well here. Spire Tech is already on the way, and that third base that you're mentioning up at the top right for YugiOh is finished as well. He's actually starting a bunch of Spines, feeling like he just needs to buy enough time to get those Corruptors out to deal with the Colossi. He's got so many Infestors, he should be able to buy enough time. Nice catch here on the Phoenixes. Beautiful. Needs to fungal them again? Okay.
There's probably another fungal coming very soon. There it is. So very, very well played. And those Phoenixes, they are going to die, as you can see. Nice catch by YugiOh. It was so well done. And I really love that he's going for the Spire, that he's not going for the Ultimus deck that we've seen a lot of times, because they're just a lot worse. The one thing that I find a little bit odd is that we don't have a macro hatch, therefore he doesn't have...
Yeah, that's actually something I was noticing as well.
Yeah, he didn't have enough lava, for example, to just produce a ton of drones as soon as his third was done. So the
You're
macro
exactly
hatch,
right. That's something
weird.
That is very weird indeed. And it looks like he just wanted to be so tight with everything he was doing. He did not want to drop that 300 minerals at any point in time. The Void Ray is actually going to sneak in here. He wants to scout the Spire and Hive timings here, and he's actually going to be able to see the Hive being made, and that's going to be a little bit scary. Uh-oh, Void Ray flying a little bit too close to the Spore Crawler, and a Queen.
Yeah, too close for comfort. Nice, going for the Infested Swarmex, a little bit of pressure here. And this will do a bit of damage and at least pin Squirtle down in his main base.
I don't know, that trade I feel was a little bit a little bit silly. I think now there's actually a time for Squirtle to move out. He's going to feel a little bit more comfortable knowing how much energy was just spent there.
I don't think that he can really move out with his army, but well, on the other hand, he's just trying to secure the third base now. But I would be surprised if Squirtle would really be aggressive now. But actually, he seems... Is he really going for it?
He's being a
There's
little bit
so many
indecisive.
infestors, I would not attack him.
Consider also he does not have Blink because Blink research has just now started.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be very difficult to move out here, but with the amount of Colossi he has, he may just be able to do it.
But even though YugiOh used up a lot of energy with those infested Swarm Eggs, he still has 8 or 9 infestors. He has the Corruptors as well, so attacking here might be a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I agree. Ultralisk, Cavern on the way, and Greater Spire. He's going to have all the options available to him.
Won't be able to support both, though.
Squirtle has not denied any of this creep, and there's very few tumors actually out in the middle of the map. A little bit. Okay, now he's starting to take them out.
A 4th base is being built for YugiOh as
He's
well.
not going to be able to defend it, I don't think. With this many units out here, he's going to have to cancel it.
Yeah, I think so too. Defending 3 bases is one thing.
Oh, it looks like Squirrel's actually going to engage here. A huge fungal on all the units. This is not the right place to engage, I don't think. And now the Colossi taking some serious hits from the Corruptors. He is completely surrounded. The Corruptors doing massive amounts of damage.
Taking down every single Colossus. Well done by YugiOh so far, but Squirtle still has his Stalkers, and they should be enough to take down the 4th. I'm a bit surprised that he didn't cancel it. That's actually what I expected him to.
Yeah, me too. Well, he's going to try to break up here, but there are so many infestors and even spines here. A huge move by Squirtle, so bold. I don't really like it. Stalker's blinking forward into more spines, and I don't think this attack by Squirtle is going to be cost efficient enough. He is really trying to make this work, though, and it just very well might.
The 3rd, he might be able to snipe the 3rd.
Yeah,
move.
if he snipes it, if he actually commits to this and gets the 3rd base, it'll be worth it. There's so many queens here trying to buy time for the infestors. The infestors just don't have enough energy yet.
This is working a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, I cannot believe how well this is working. Actually, great decision making by Squirtle. I don't think YugiOh expected this at all.
Wow. He is killing the 3rd, but he did not take down the 4th, by the way.
Ultralisk popping out, the Broodlings trapping some Stalkers, doing some furious damage, and here come the Broodlords, and the Stalkers are going to have to retreat.
Yeah, they have to retreat, but they have to kill the 4th as well, and that's exactly what they do now.
A lot of Speedlings trying to come out here and trap. He gets the 4th and escapes the Speedlings and Infestors. A close call by Squirtle, man.
That was actually a little bit of a slip-up in the end, because right now when Squirtle was trying to go to get away, he could have fungled the Stalkers once again. He had the Infestors kind of in range, and he had enough energy on most of them. So a fungal would have helped the Broodlords to catch up and take down at least a bunch of them.
Yeah, I completely agree. You kind of botched that. I mean, with no Colossi in that group, it's very easy to move your Infestors forward and get some fungals. 2 Ultralists, 3 Broodlords in production right now, plus 3 melee attacks about to finish for our Zerg player, whereas plus 2 for the Protoss ground weapons is almost done. So the upgrade's very, very much so in favor of our Zerg player right now. And it's looking like even though YugiOh lost those bases, he's got a strong army. I don't like how patient he's being right now. He should be attacking as he retakes his bases, in my opinion. Right now, he's kind of just got this death ball sitting around not doing anything with it.
Yeah, but the problem is it's really hard to attack into those 3 bases, and you might lose a lot of units. We don't have... We have the now the fleet beacon on its way, so right now there is no mothership just yet, but still attacking here is...
If he had more
it might
creep,
be the
he doesn't
only
have,
choice.
Yeah,
that
he doesn't have more creep, right? To really, if he could push like the left, basically that lane over there on the left side, and start sieging up the natural, it could be really effective. But he just doesn't have the creep threat. If he messes things up, if he gets caught out there off creep, he'll lose a lot of units. There is a warp prism moving around here. It looks like it. I can't tell. Was that spotted?
Actually,
he's moving it back anyways.
I don't think so. The problem is that YugiOh just lost 2 bases. He was down on 2 mining bases against 3, and this is just horrible. And even though Squirtle didn't produce well, a lot of units for a time, just have a look at his mineral count. He's on 1,300. He lacks gas, but he will get that quite fast. We have now the mothership being built, and YugiOh is just getting further and further behind in this game. He needs to make sure that he's droning up a little bit more now, because let's be honest about it, 66 drones is not what you want to have. He needs another 10.
Mothership is in production, plus 3 weapons. Chitinous plating and plus 1 flyer weapons on the way for YugiOh right now. And he's spreading his creep. It looks like his biggest fear is getting caught out in the middle of the map. He's actually using Overlords to help spread his creep right now. He's spreading it very quickly, very aggressively. But I really feel that this passivity from him, even though he's getting his bases back up, he's allowing Squirtle to now take a 4th base. He's building that composition. He's getting the Mothership out. He's getting a more high Templar, getting Archons prepared for this engagement.
Just let's recap this for a second. And we talked about the Infestors, how they started to attack, how they dropped the Infested Swarm Eggs, and it was the perfect timing for an attack for Squirtle. I actually doubted that he would attack, because I thought that YugiOh would be able to defend it. He had so many Infestors that I thought the energy would be enough, but he did not have the units to back it up. So Squirtle just attacked, he had the perfect timing.
Yeah, beautiful timing. That was actually one of the smartest decisions I've ever seen.
And the Ultralisk. So that was very, very well done. And in the end, it comes down to the fact that YugiOh should not have dropped those Infested Swarm Eggs.
Yeah, and that's what I thought when I saw all those eggs die. I was like, that wasn't really the best trade. And man, did Squirtle punish him for that. The mothership is now here. There's only one Archon in the mix, but that's going to change very soon. There's a ton of High Templar. He's got several storms available to him. We do have the Warp Prism floating around on the map as well. He will probably use that perhaps for High Templar drops or just Zealot Warp-ins. There's a lot of bases on the external part of Squirtle. For example, Squirtle's 2 external bases, his 3rd and his 4th, are both very exposed, no spine crawlers to defend them.
We are now once again reaching this late game scenario where it comes down to the army composition. The mothership playing a huge role with the Vortex against the Broodlords. And now it will come down to the ability of YugiOh to dodge the Vortex, to spread out his units. We still have both of them with a very huge army, and YugiOh still has 1,500 gas. He has 4 bases.
His composition is awkward. He's got 4 Ultralisks, and his Broodlord count is at 11. He's got 5 Infestors, and only a few Zerglings underneath all that. So he's got these strong, almost hero capital ship type units, but he doesn't have anything to support them. He's got a few Queens in the mix, but if he gets Vortex, he's just going to get destroyed.
I like his choice though to get 5 Ultralisks. The problem that I have with Ultralisks on this map is that we have a lot of players who just build too many of them and suddenly they can't really attack. I would love him to get a bunch of Zerglings as well in order to support them, as you just said. But the combination that he's using right now, it can actually work if he has the perfect fungals and if he can make sure that the Vortex is not hitting him too hard.
Yeah, none of these units are going to be very weak to Psionic Storm. That's one thing to note as well. I mean, they're all very large units with a lot of hit points.
And don't forget that there will be a ton of Broodlings. If he plays this correctly and spreads out his Broodlords and dodges the Vortex, and then suddenly there will be Broodlings to support the Ultralisks.
So one thing to note is he has no Corruptors as well for the mothership.
No, he does.
Well, he has...
Not too many, but...
Okay, never mind. He
9
does have
total.
That was a mistake by me. Should have sworn there were none, but I'm completely wrong.
Well,
I was going to say, that's crazy, man.
That's such a huge fireball, and you could actually not see the Corruptor. So
yeah, I do see him now. There are several, 9 of them, in fact. He wants to get the mothership with it.
Oh, this is going to be a very, very tough one. This is looking pretty cool. Base over base being taken by YugiOh now. He's trying to take a 5th and a 6th base. We have a charge upgrade, even shield upgrade.
Oh, this is such a bold position by Squirtle. He's forcing the units now to attack at an angle that favors him. He has to stay away from that gaping hole, though, where the Broodlord's hanging out. Oh, that Vortex is a big miss.
But at the same time, he was at least able to get a couple of
I love this
feedbacks in there.
Yeah, and now he can actually target the hatchery. The units, if they come too close, they will hit the Vortex. So he can actually target the hatchery from this location. He's actually engaging this quite well. Good feedbacks and some storms going down. Will he do another Vortex? He doesn't have enough energy.
The mothership is going to die in a few seconds. The Greens have been feedbacked as well. No transfuses left.
Oh, he's blinking under.
Supply against 160, and
there's no real support. There's no support for these Broodlords. The Stalkers are blinking underneath. He gets the hatchery, and now he has to retreat, though.
We have 150 supply against 137 right now. Squirtle against YugiOh, and it looks like Squirtle is actually able to pull it off now.
He really is,
taking down base after base.
He's taken down 2 bases. There's another base at the top right. He probably has not seen, but he will be going to swing around in that direction very soon. He is taking out some... he doesn't have any Observer in this mix, actually. He's not taking out this Grieve, that's unfortunate. But he is kind of taking control, picking up a few drones here and there. Right now, the worker count 63 to 47 in Squirtle's favor.
We have 4 mining bases for Squirtle. He's taking a 5th now, so he is getting in perfect position where even if he loses his army, he can just reinforce once again with 2,000 minerals and
so bad.
1,000 gas. He is looking very, very good.
We just really saw the fact that there were no support for those Broodlords really hurt him there. Broodlords will perhaps catch 1 Stalker there, and he's trying to trap with these Zerglings. A good fungal. He just does not have the unit count he needs. He's trying to trap these Colossi, and he does. Colossi looking like 1 will definitely fall. The second one likely to fall as well.
Yeah, I think so. He's not funneling again. He could have fungled once more, but he did not for some reason. And that's the thing that YugiOh is slipping a little bit. Now he funnels, but he exposes his investors, and they pay the price for it. They take down by those stalkers, and we still have a couple of high Templar in the back for the feedbacks.
Yeah, he just cannot quite approach with those Broodlords where they are now. And this is so interesting. There's still no mothership. Actually, I take it back. It just arrived. It's not in the battle yet.
160 supply against 150. YugiOh is getting more aggressive now. He wants to take down one of these spaces.
He absolutely needs to, Keldor, and it looks like he's going to target the Nexus now. The Broodlords with very little support here, but it looks like he has just enough. He's targeted the Nexus. The Broodling's going for it. The Nexus falling very quickly. It looks like it will fall.
Wow,
Wow.
YugiOh. He is certainly putting up the... Now this
Oh
is
wow, the Zergling's
really
going to target
insane.
down another base as well, Keldor. Remember the Zerglings with +3 and Adrenal Glands. Actually, I take it back. He does not have Adrenal Glands. That's so strange.
But he's able to take down the Nexus. Nonetheless, it's suddenly we have YugiOh taking one base after another and limiting Squirtle down to one mining base, the third that is. YugiOh might be able to pull this off after all.
Yeah,
have a look at his gas. He has 2,000 gas.
He really does.
Just has to take more minerals. And how many drones does he have left? He has 48.
Yeah, and with the army he has, he can actually drone up a little bit right now if he wants to. He's actually making 5 infestors that'll put him at a total of 10.
And he has the
17
lava.
bases.
He has the lava to do so. He had 13 and a couple of injects finishing. Very nice job by YugiOh here. I actually thought he would die. I just thought he would die when Squirtle killed base after base. I thought YugiOh might not be able to recover, but he's coming back into this game, Wolf.
Yeah, he really is. I'm impressed. And with this amount of Banelings out, it's going to be difficult for Squirtle to aggressively move across the map. He does still have the mothership out now. It's, recently popped out. He's got +1 shields for the mothership, just something to note, and the mothership's current energy is about 130, so he will have 1 Vortex available if he pushes this engagement right now. The Broodlords, though, are going to be in a position where the Archons cannot go underneath them even if they are Vortex. Just beautiful positional play by YugiOh.
Just has to make sure that this Vortex is not going to hit Squirtle, trying to stabilize now again. He suddenly had to take punch after punch after punch. YugiOh was being so aggressive, and Squirtle was visibly startled. And here, once again, he's trying to get into position in order to take down the Broodlords, but they just put so much pressure onto the Protoss player.
To be perfectly honest, Keldor, I feel with this kind of composition from YugiOh, he should be taking the bottom right bases instead of taking the base that's right next to a big hole where the Broodlords can attack. Now we're going to see some Zealot harassment here with the Warp Prism perhaps. At least it's into play, into position. A flank coming in by Squirtle. He's going to try to catch these units off guard. The Broodlords are out of position. They're so slow. He's just going to avoid them.
And the Broodlords actually killing the expansion. The expansion is not done just yet. It will die. It will definitely die.
Absolutely will.
Base trade. Here comes Squirtle trying to get into position in order to take down the third army. 184 supply for YugiOh. Squirtle is maxed out though.
Yeah, he's going for a big push right now. He's completely avoiding the Zerg army. The Broodlord's so slow, it's taking them forever to catch up. The Corruptor's trying to target the mothership, but he cannot. He cannot target the mothership. It loses its entirety of its shields. Oh, this is so... Actually, I think this is really good for Squirtle, to be perfectly honest, Keldor, with the position that YugiOh's army is now. And look at the split by Squirtle. He's now got his units in a perfect position.
It will all come down to this fight. Squirtle is trying to get his base back. He needs some mining, and he knows it. 180 supply against 200. The army's supply is in favor of Squirtle.
Beautiful positioning by YugiOh. He's actually using Infested Terrans to draw some of the units out, and when they come out, the Broodlords can hit them. Beautiful moves. He's using Infested Terrans just to bait some units. I love this play by YugiOh.
The mothership's still a threat. Here come the Corruptors. Will he use the... Yes, he has to use the Vortex. And there it is. The Broodlords need to be careful. They are not allowed to get into the Vortex. He needs to get into a good position here. And the mothership will be in so much trouble very soon.
Stalkers going in.
Oh, this is
going in. This is insane. The Banelings go in. Storms on everything. Whoa. And the supply of Squirtle drops. He loses the mothership, but his army is still in position. Now he's got the Archons going to the second Vortex. The Broodlords have no support. The Stalkers taking them out here. And I don't know who's going to come in on top. The Archons destroying everything. I think Squirtle maybe taking a huge lead here in this game.
This is insane. 72 army supply for Squirtle against 40 for YugiOh. After YugiOh just lost so many units. And look at his income. He has 2,500 minerals and 1,700 gas. And he has no lava.
He has
does
no
have
lava.
Where are those macro hatches that we talked about?
Yeah, he just has no real production right now.
Oh,
and these bases are going to go down. There are a lot of Corruptors left alive, but they're all so low on hit points. The Ultralisk Cavern does fall, but 5 Ultralisks are on the way.
This is just insane. He's building Ultralisks. He still has Well, he has one mining base. The War Prism Harris at the right side of the map was able to take down the expansions of YugiOh, and Squirtle rebuilt his fourth. This game is insane.
Yeah,
the War Prism and the Zealots taking down the fourth for YugiOh.
I think this game is over, man. I think he is. Unfortunately, he made 5 Ultras as well. Now, is that the right choice? It's hard to say. There's just so many good units out here for Squirtle now. His army composition is so strong. The Ultra is popping out into Zealots in the main base. They're actually losing one at a time here. And I think this game is over.
Rolled into the Stalkers and Squirtle dropped like 80 supply in 0.5 seconds. I thought this was it, but no, Squirtle is bouncing back.
It was the clutch second Vortex. Yes. I didn't think anyone would humanly be able to cast that quickly. That was the key. GG!
What an amazing opening game. Back and forth, one comeback after another, back-to-back. This was brilliant. We have Squirtle with the first win and YugiOh with 1 loss now. And he's just looking at his screen. He can't believe what just happened. And to be completely honest with you, Wolf, I can't either.
Neither can I, man. You know what else I don't believe is what Cello was talking about earlier, saying there was no chance for this guy. I saw some beautiful play. I've never seen positional Broodlord play like that out of any Zerg player before. Just how smart he was with his Broodlords, always engaging at the nexus where his Broodlords could not be Vortex, repeatedly making sure that he could bait his opponent's units into the Broodlords. He dropped an Infested Terran or 2, Zealots came out, Archons came out, then the Broodlords were able to hit them with that siege range.
Those Banelings?
Oh, I mean, the Banelings, that was so smart.
The first Vortex, and he just tried to keep his mothership alive with the first Vortex. He caught all the Corruptors. Suddenly, every single Stalkers moves into the Vortex, and there are the Banelings, and boom, everything is gone. But the second Vortex, Wolf mentioned
that was so clutch, man.
Was brilliant. That was really so close.
And if he had cast it like 0.0001 seconds later, man, it would not have gone off, and the game would have ended very differently. Getting those Archons under the Broodlords was really key. Without that, he would have lost the game for sure.
And let's be honest about it. 2 macro hatches, and he wins it. He has 2,500 minerals banked up. He has the gas as well, with 2 additional hatcheries and the lava, or better injects, because he used all these queens in the fights. So suddenly he didn't have the units to inject. So with more lava, just rebuilds his army, goes in, takes it down. That's it.
He just had so many external hatcheries that felt like he thought his production was good enough, but losing those hatcheries to Zealots just meant that he didn't have the production. You're exactly right. But we're going to jump into game 2. Now this guy over here on the right, MVP Keen, he is definitely one of the favorites in this group. He's got to prove himself here. It's really kind of his moment to do so. And recently he has not been. I just say, like, he's always up and down. He's so inconsistent. But recently, he's not been looking bad. He's been looking only good. And I think if he wins this particular set against Hart, this may be one of his tougher matches. Hart was able to take out Bomber with very unorthodox play. The map is Crossfire. If he can win this set, his confidence will be high enough. I think it'll get the ball rolling enough for him to get out of this up and down match and reclaim his Codesk spot.
We'll find out in a few seconds, Wolf. We are going to take no break. We're heading right into the game. Hart against Keen. Terran versus Terran. With GSL up and down matches.